Well, she's, you know what too, Kathy? She's been pretty much in the round pen.
Does that really feel good?
Emma,
I'm not disappointed with the lead change because she's getting both legs.
yeah.
Oh, that feels good.
There you go.
What are you thinking, sweetheart?
You know what she really needs is to go out on trail for 4 to 6 hours. And just,
She's not conditioned for that.
well, but I mean, long enough to let everything go. That really was pretty good considering.
You know, all she did was go sideways, and that's all right. You know, when legs come down, that's what you're supposed to do. And she didn't hold a grudge. Once it was down, she just went on her way. So that's good. My neighbor's little horse that I ride is the one that does half spins every time he gets frightened by something.
Oh.
That's all he does, though. Just turns around. Okay. That's my favorite response in the world. Though the last time I took him out, he only stopped twice. We didn't have spins, which is a big improvement.
Yeah.
I had to laugh. We'd gone out for a ride. We'd had a pretty good ride. And as we're coming back, there's the AT&T guys in the manhole.
Oh.
Like there's people coming up out of the ground.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to deal with it. We had to spin. We went sideways a little bit, tried to avoid them. And in situations like that, if you can get the person to have a conversation with you, what a difference that makes.
Yes.
But the worst thing you can say is say something to me and then kind of stare at you, like tell me something funny. You know.
Yeah.
So instead, it's just good morning, and you hope they're social and say good morning back. What are you working on?
Yeah. I was real lucky. Our dumpster driver,
Oh yeah.
because I'd take them out to see the dumpster get dumped, and he was real nice. I gave him some horse cookies, and he fed them both some cookies from the window of his truck, and then we chased the truck down the street. You know.
My good friend Rick Wagner, in fact, he's on his way up to state championships as of 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh.
Their house is on 2nd Street, and not only do they dump the bins right next to the arena where his horses live,
Oh.
it's also where they tend to dump the whole bin into the
Oh.
truck. So his horses get to see that every day. He does police, well, he's a police officer for Garden Grove, and he does mounted work. Mounted officer training session.
Does he have a dark horse?
He has a couple, but no, he has a chestnut Mustang. That's the one he normally rides. His wife's horse that he also does is a buckskin.
Okay.
Both Mustangs. The buckskin cracks me up. Rio is so low key, it's ridiculous. It's like, wake him up, please. One of the obstacles they had at the officer, schooling day or whatever, it was a trail trial. He rode on this line that was drawn in the ground. And about 15 feet past you is a porta potty. You've been informed that there's a crazy person in it.
Oh.
And you need to get her out. Standing behind the line. So you start having this conversation. And the gal who was doing it, she was some cadet that just, as soon as you started talking to her, she starts hitting the walls and rocking the porta potty. So first you have that.
Ah.
And then when she comes out, she jumps out. So the door flies open and out this comes, about half the distance between you and the porta potty. Well, their two horses are like, Not everybody had that response.
Yeah.
And of course, because of that, probably we'll never go near a porta potty again without thinking more of a when the Angels won the World Series, he was one of the officers that had a horse on the field that night.
Oh.
Because someone got it in their mind they should have mounted officers so people wouldn't storm the field. Like, how do you sensory train for that? 75,000 screaming fans with rally monkeys and thunder sticks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a point you just hit overload. He goes, yeah, we had one horse in the crew. He's 30 years old and he's deaf, and he just stood there going to sleep. I'm sure he could feel the ground.
Yeah.
But, you know, what can you do? And that's when you know your horse has the right job.
Yeah. A lot to be said for earplugs.
He used to ride a dark paint horse. He was a real dark bay with a fair amount of white. Thunder was my favorite horse to do grooming clinics with because he would always drop for me in the wash rack. This is how we clean a sheep. Very predictable. He and I got along very well. Yeah, he's off to CSHA state championship this weekend. Well, I'm dying to hear what kind of stuff they do. Next year it's going to be down here, so we'll be going.
Oh boy. Let me know. I want to come and watch.
It's fun. It's 2 days. The first day is usually 12 to 14 obstacles, and then the second day is shorter, so people can get going, and finish. And it's statewide. The last time I rode in it was with my Belgian, and that was in Big Bear. And the gal I rode with had come down from Red Bluff. She's either the defending state champion or had won it previously, in the last couple of years.
Oh my goodness.
Neat gal. I really had fun riding with her. So she was riding in the advanced level, and I had Bob in the intermediate. To put him in the novice, we would have won it, I bet. But, yeah. He was 8 in the intermediate.
Golly.
He did real well. When they ask you to do a 180 on a 4-foot wide bridge with a Belgian,
Oh, his front feet are going to be off.
he's got a wheelbase that's about 8 or 9 feet long, and he almost did it. He put 1 foot off, but all things considered,
That's pretty amazing.
there was that one, and there was a downhill that was too much for him. He did not like going downhill, and this was a really steep, fairly short. And as soon as we got to the edge of it, and I could feel the top starting to cave in, he doesn't know what to do on that.
Yeah.
And so we bypassed it, and that's where I went from 2nd place to 8th.
Oh.
Well, now Dan, on the other hand, he wouldn't have any trouble with it. But Bob was very unsure about downhill. Very careful, but
Was he
well balanced.
was he driven?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Maybe his
On his
hawks.
tractor, he plowed fields with us.
All right, maybe his hawks couldn't.
Well, no, he was sound. It just there was a balance issue he did not understand.
That's interesting because I saw a.
Because he could do a rollback in the arena like nobody's business. But put him on a hill, and he was. It's almost like the front and back end didn't want to talk to each other. I
Oh.
believe his haunches behind.
Oh.
It was really tough to stop him going down a hill. He would get very on the forehand. He didn't tuck his legs underneath himself well, which was weird because, like I said, you could do a rollback with him in the arena and back him right out of it, and he would be just as collected as could be. And that's why I bypassed it, because I could just picture his front end going down
And
and collapsing under him, and the hind end still on top, and his back just being tweaked. So
yeah.
I decided it's more important to have a horse the next day. We opted out on that one. It did cause a small landslide. It kind of gave the judge an idea as to maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah.
At least not for an intermediate level horse. For an advanced horse, they're expected to be doing really steep hills. But it didn't feel like terribly fair. That's fine. We got to pull a steer dummy out of the water.
Oh wow.
And he had no problem with that.
Facing it, backing up.
Let's see, how did we do it? It was a pull. So, yeah, you're facing it, backing away.
That must have been wild.
It was hysterical. They had taken a roping dummy and put it on skis. So we had this stupid black cowhead with red eyes. And the rope's already around its neck. And they hand you the rope, and you're supposed to back this thing